45, 50 points lower on the Sensex, 50 down on the Nifty as well. So much better as compared to what it was looking like at 8 o'clock or even 8:30. 24,250 is where the Nifty is starting at. So this is, barely down, about 0.25% down. That's more like it. Nifty Bank is absolutely flat. Actually, it's come back into the green as we speak. This is now blinking red and green, so directionless in that sense on the Nifty Bank. It's been the weaker of the two indices. Advanced decline is positive as well, about 2:1 straight up. We've got what else? The Nifty IT index, which is down about about 0.8% or so as we begin this new trading session. I think, Sonia, BSE, as you were talking about earlier, is the big mover.
It is the big mover, and no surprises, right? Revenue growth of 25% quarter-on-quarter, margins at record highs. That really is 8% higher. Gujarat Pipavav, take a look at that one. The revenue growth is quite strong, actually. There's margin improvement as well. So I think that's another stock that the street likes, 5.5% higher there. Radico Khaitan, revenue growth of almost 20%. EBITDA is up 25%. So Radico Khaitan also looking pretty good this morning, 4% higher there. And ITD Cementation, we've had a revenue growth of almost 30%. Margins have improved. Management is looking at a 20% revenue growth for the full year, so that one's looking good. Sula Vineyards, good revenue growth, margin stable at 28%. So Sula Vineyards is up, I think, 2% right now, so that one's not bad. On the downside, Apollo Tyres is, under pressure on the back of the impact that we've seen on the business, both in the Middle East as well as in the European region. So Apollo Tyres is down almost 1.5%. Hindalco, though, holding up almost about 0.7%. But otherwise, you'd have to say it's not a bad market. It is a bit subdued, but it's still holding around the 24,200 marks. It's been really resilient last many days.
Well, that's right, Sonia. Resilience has made the Indian markets actually stand out. When you talk about the globe being down 8 to around 15%, and yet the Indian markets are not even 3% from the recent peak. That's telling you the resiliency that we see here in the Indian markets. Protein E governed, the deal got done at around 1,791, and the stock has seen a sharp bounce from there, so that equity changed hands on that one. Global facing themes actually are under pressure. Infosys are under pressure. You have JSW Steel as well, both of them. Some tech, some metal related names, well, they are seeing some bit of selling. Godrej Consumer, well, that one is down closer around 3.3%. So that one's taking it on the chin, actually one of the biggest losers in the F&O market. And Shree Cement as well, that stock continues to see selling pressure. The last quarter's numbers weren't great, and that one's down closer around 2.5%. What's doing well then from the top F&O movers? You have Alembic Pharma, that stock's up close to 2.5%. Coromandel International, well, that stock's doing quite well. And V-Mart as well has opened up well in the green. In terms of top volume movers, SEL Manufacturing, I don't know, this is one of the top volume movers that's come up. It's up close to around 20% actually. You have a couple of other notable movers like GMR Power, that stock is up close to around 2%. So interesting looking screen, 50 points downtake after what we saw on the GIFT Nifty. Well, the bulls will grab it with both hands, but we'll have to wait by to hear from the RBI governor. Prashant.
Yeah, absolutely. And lots of stuff moving around. Look at, I want to just highlight a few on the downside. Gokuldas Exports, I think it's back to, Tuesday levels, yeah. Because it had actually back to Monday levels almost. So that big 13-14% move on Gokuldas Exports, 5% went yesterday, 5% has gone today. It's essentially given up all of those gains. I think this is, of course, not a textile apparel story, because it's not as if other textile apparel makers are down. Gokuldas, of course, has earnings to blame in that sense. You've got, what else? Fusion Micro was down, limit down 20% after a very poor showing on numbers, asset quality. It's down another 6%. So 400,000 shares on Fusion Micro. The stock has always been, in terms of price to book, cheaper compared to the rest of the pack. And of course, I think the numbers kind of bear that out now. Sangvi Movers is down 6.5%, 825 in Sangvi Movers, and it's got large volumes at this point in the day. Shree Cements, numbers were bad, and I think from the time that the numbers have come through, from about 27,000, okay, I think we'll just, 27,000. My God, that's a big fall. I don't want to say it, but 27,600 was the close on the day of the results. It's at 24,400. Wow. That is a big fall coming through on Shree Cements. Big numbers were a very large miss as opposed to what the expectations were. Lal Pathlabs, we just spoke with the management, down about 1.5%, so 32.25 on Lal Pathlabs. Oil India is down about 2.5%, so 600. Oil India and ONGC were the two big movers. ONGC ended about 7-8% higher as well. Apollo Tyres, I think Sonia already highlighted that. There is LTIMindtree, Balaji Amines down 4 and 2% respectively. Piramal Enterprises is down about 2%. JSW Steel is down about 1.25%. I mean, so a lot of stuff moving around, and market breadth is now very quickly moving to becoming almost 1:1. One up for one down at this stage. Yeah, Sonia.
So a couple of these pharma stocks, right, all sitting at fresh highs. So 52-week highs, that is Alembic, Ajanta, Torrent.
Yeah.
And these are all stocks that are up 40% this year. Ajanta is up 45%, Torrent is up 45%, Alembic is up 65% this year. So it clearly has been a year where all of these pharma stocks are doing.
Absolutely. And many fund managers that I've been speaking with are all saying that pharma could continue to be the sector of the year, especially on the US generic side. We've seen the numbers, that 20% Lupin beat on operating profits. So we'll see more over the next many quarters. But